Left coast is the best coast.
The fuck is that? Something's fucking with my buckets. Fuck, you can smell him. It's a Sam Squams. He's a gassy son of a whore, too. Should just get out of here. Oh my. Fuck. Holy shit. Sam Squams fur. Cocksucker was probably sucking right on the tab. Alright, fuck. Look at that. He's a fucking 8 to 10 footer. He's an 8 to 10 footer. We gotta go. We gotta get the fuck out of here.
I call for backup. Yeah. 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 Huh? Yeah. Huh? That's right. Huh? Yeah. That's what's up, y'all.
Canadians.
Canadians, eh? What's going on?
It's Sam Squatch.
Sam Squatch. Now, as you're very far south in America, do you know who that is?
I've watched those guys before, yeah.
Okay, so you've heard of the Trailer Park Boys.
I've watched them before. I haven't just heard of them.
They're pretty well known, but there's people that actually don't know, and it's okay. I don't know.
But I may have watched them while I was in Seattle because everyone liked them there, you know. It's so close.
Chris, hope that went well for you today.
18,000. It's going real well for Chris.
Oh yeah, nice work. Keep it up on the YouTubes. Subscribe to 1,000 Ghosts and give them more.
We need to get them to 20,000. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give them until Sunday.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So things are happening overnight, you know.
Yep.
That's when all the international views. But yeah, there's certain things, man. Once people get hooked, you know, then they start checking out your old content and subscribe. Yeah. You know, I think you got to get them with 2 videos. Hey, Rolando, Mr. B.
Mr. B. Cat's here, Vader's girl.
Lovely cat, nice to see you. So I only got to watch it 2 times.
I only watched it once. I have to.
Episode 5, I believe it was called Night.
Yeah.
We had the previous episode called Day, and just off the top of my head, it was a banger of an episode.
Oh, it was great.
Comparing to the first 3 episodes, it was action from start to finish. So right away, I'm impressed with this episode, and I think even a lot of people who are, you know, they're haters on purpose, you know, before they see it, I think they still watched it, liked it, but they're like, oh, but I didn't like the way the wipe went in scene 32, you know, minute 42nd, you know.
Yeah, now they're complaining about the wipes between scenes. I know. I was like, God, do you have nothing better to do? Like, come on.
Fun, like, we like to pick on the stuff too, right? But I don't think we go into as much. We don't look for stuff.
Yeah, it's like they're hunting for something. It's like.
And when I've seen Lack and Brett talking about it with Ed, and they were talking about how the trees were falling, you know, backwards and upwards. And I knew that going into my second rewatch today, and I was looking for that, and I noticed it, and I'm like, yeah, but I wasn't looking there. I was looking at the 3 people with lightsabers ready to, you know, make some more sushi and stuff. It was nonstop battle from end to finish. So I was super impressed because I don't think we've seen an episode like that in any live action or even cartoon Star Wars to date. Like,
but you know what's funny is that it's another. Well, I mean, I don't know how are you going to go through this. I guess we'll just talk about it when we get to it. But
yeah,
I was surprised. I was surprised that they did this episode right away. I thought for sure we were going to get some filler thing before they went back to the fight. But to really go into the fight like right away makes me wonder. Okay, what are they going to do for the next couple episodes? You know what I mean? Like, is it really going to
here's a question for you.
Is it going to get better from here?
Do you think what percentage chance is it, because the people in control of it, you know, behind the curtain, you know, the Oz of this Lucasfilm and Disney, do you think that there's any chance they could move episodes around, you know, at their desire? Yeah. You know, because this doesn't seem like it's a serial. Like nothing's taking place super in order. so far, like this episode could have happened after episode 2, and it would have been a direct continuation. And I think so. Do you think that they actually might have moved an episode, not made a mistake, but on purpose do something to? I don't know.
Like there was supposed to be a
editing.
story filler. Like there was supposed to be a filler episode right now, but they went, no, we really got to move this or rearrange things because we got to get like everyone on board, or it's not going to, you know. So they put it out first. They changed.
When I rewatched this episode today, I did watch it right after episode 2. Like I watched episode 2, and then I watched this episode. Because it was like the end.
Doesn't this pick up right where episode 4 left off? Though?
Yeah. No, or whichever episode it was. No, it wasn't episode. Was it episode 4?
Yeah, it was. It went 4, then 5.
Yeah.
That's why I thought it would be a filler episode because
I watched. Yeah, sorry, I got the numbers wrong. But yeah, so I watched the 2 episodes back to back, and it flowed really well, like it all together. Yeah. Like it seemed.
Well, that's what I was going to get at. Like it's another argument for this particular show. This individual one show should have been dumped all at once, because now you understand why when they walked through the forest and she touched the bug and they only fought one bug, they were setting it up for this bug fight. You know?
Like really, we've only seen lightsabers used as flashlights until the end of last episode. The final 1 minute, they were being used. They weren't slicing anything yet. It was just a bunch of force pushing, but we didn't see lightsabers getting used, not as a flashlight, until this episode. I guess sliced the bug in half.
Yeah. But it makes sense now why all those bugs didn't attack, because it was foreshadowing for what happened in episode 5. Yeah, so if you had got to see them back to back, I don't think people would have complained about what happened in episode 4,
of course,
with the bugs, because they would have been like, oh, that was just the way. Because everyone was like, why didn't we get to see a battle there? Because they were saving that battle for now. You know what I mean?
Bugs were kind of silly, but think about it. So were like the Minox back in the day that, were all over the Millennium Falcon chewing on the hoses and things like that. And where Luke talks about not swamp rats. The kind of rats in the desert he used to shoot at. Swamp rats, yeah. So there is lots of these little kind of rodent pest creatures in the Star Wars universe. So I guess it is a part of Star Wars, really, right?
Yeah.
Let me go share this window here.
I mean, it's scary, though. I mean, like, what do you think we have on this planet that would scare an alien that came down? Like, do you think regular dogs would be like, what the hell? You guys have those as pets? You know what I mean? Not
regular dogs, but like if you had like a really heavy Great Dane or bull mastiff, those are big dogs. Like,
yeah, but what I mean is, like, a lot of dogs, if they don't know who's at the door, they're going to be like barking and wanting to attack. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if some alien came to the door and was just like, hey, I'm here, the dog would attack, and don't you think they'd be like, what the hell? You guys have those as pets?
Now, would the alien say, hey, or would he use like an alien kind of gibbly goop kind of language?
Oh, he'd probably gibbly goop, yeah. He'd probably knock on the door and be all, gibbly goop!
That would happen, no.
Yeah.
Would have been more nanu. So yeah, like we just kind of were talking about it.
Here she is waking up again.
Right where it ends, and a nice cold open again, and
waking up again.
Waking up again, yeah. So it was hopefully this episode wasn't all a dream and it was real, and because maybe all the people aren't dead and it was a dream. She got it all wrong. All right, so yeah, it was a cool little shot, and we get our first rest in peace, Jedi or possibly a Padawan. I don't know who he is, but that's what Osha sees as soon as she wakes up on this red sand. So we'll count them as we go through.
Look at all the swoosh marks. Yeah.
Yeah. Notice this too. So you got 7 of those little black skid marks where he's force pushed all the Jedis back. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I guess we know for sure that wasn't Plo Koon.
It still didn't have any names in the credits, but
No,
yeah,
but
we do know
he
it's
got
not because
killed.
he got
I
killed.
mean, he
Yeah.
got stabbed, so we know it's not Plo Koon.
Yeah.
Just another one of his species.
And it's interesting. We see a lightsaber battle from this perspective, like from a distance. Again, like a lot of this episode is May's perspective, but not in a kind of dreamy fashion. It's just literally, her point of view. And I don't think we've seen this before in Star Wars from far away.
This did kind of make me question, though. I was like, okay, so he's fighting these two over there. Where the heck is Padawan Girl and Soul right now?
They're licking. They're putting on their band-aids, and
Yeah, like why wouldn't all
rubbing
like
the dirt
7
off.
or 8 of them attack him at once? Like, why would they? It's that whole thing with the kung fu movies where the guys always took their turns.
One at a time.
Yeah, one at a time, guys. We can't all attack them at the same time.
Yeah,
it's that old
Bruce
kung
Lee
fu
style.
movie thing where I was always like, come on.
But I was impressed. Like, I'm pretty sure there was actual kung fu in this episode. Like, I'm not a master of martial arts, but there was some ginsu and some sushi moves and UFC style. Like, there was some badassery going on at all levels with the lightsabers. So hats off to all the actors and stunt doubles, whoever was doing all these stunts with the choreography with the lightsabers. They did pretty good.
I mean, they actually got stabbed. It was so good.
That's real. Like, this is not fake.
Yeah.
So not Plo Koon. So I guess he's number 2 we get seen killed on screen. And a little bit of a new thing that we haven't seen much in live action. So the gauntlet he wears on just one arm only actually blocks lightsabers. So I have the material in another slide. It's not Beskar, but it's a new material being brought into live action from the Legends.
Books and comics, yeah.
But not only does it block lightsabers, this material, it like deactivates them.
It short circuits them for
12 seconds.
Yeah.
Which is a cool new thing. So managed to get this screenshot of him stopping I'm doing this on purpose. Like, he's not just doing it as a last defense to save him. He's doing it to stop using their lightsaber. And then he turns and battles another Jedi. And he does this several times. And it's actually quite brilliant.
I think his helmet, isn't his helmet made out of that stuff too, or
the
something?
same material? Yeah, because he headbutts the lightsabers right here. Yeah. Here he turns. The chick's got her lightsaber. Her lightsaber is all it's out. It's not working. So he goes and headbutts this guy's saber.
Yeah,
sorts that out. Then he's got no saber, and then I think he kicks him to the ground or something. What's Yord? Master Yord? He puts up a little bit of a fight at least before he, runs away, so to speak. But he takes a little ginsu to the shin here, so he does get some damage points if you're playing at home. A few people took some damage points, I think. And yes, he is stacked. He's been spending time at the Sith gym for sure. So yeah, so far it's just lightsaber dueling. Like, we might be 8 minutes in now, and it's still just lightsaber dueling back and forth. There's not a lot of words being spoken, if any at all. This guy's getting the Maul treatment, getting his belly sliced open. And we see a little more of the sleeveless Sith look, which I'm really digging.
What his tattoos are. That's what I'm curious about.
Well, I got a couple of slides that refer back to the original character called Ren, who was the original Knight of Ren before Kylo Ren, and before another character named Ren, who was I guess these people are canon until they're not canon. But he resembles him in his overall costume with the sleeveless look.
Yeah, he does. He was in I've seen him in the comics before.
Yeah. And either like these are tattoos or burn marks. I don't think it's just dirt.
No, he's got a tattoo.
Yeah, so it's some
black
kind of
it's black and red. The tattoos he have are black and red,
which are again very similar to the style that we see on that Ren character. So we might find out that this is going to be that Ren character brought into live action, and he will be an apprentice of a certain Sith master we can talk about a little later. But then here's another one. So I think we're at number 4 now, right through the middle. I think he could survive that, though, right?
Well, Sabine did.
Yeah,
So
she did.
he's going to pull another one on, though, doesn't he?
Boom! Let's stack
Yeah.
it like a
Yeah,
shish
he's
kebab.
shish
So now we
kebab.
have, I think this is our first time ever seeing Jedi shish kebab
Yeah.
on its canon.
Yep.
So not just monkey lizards on a spit roast.
See, what I don't get about when anyone using a lightsaber does this, where they stab through somebody, I would lift it straight up.
Yeah, just cut them in half.
Well, they get cut right in half. Don't pull it straight out. It's not any resistance either way. You know what I mean?
If there was a Sith that we haven't seen yet to do that, this would have been the guy to do that too, because he was pretty brutal. I think we saw Mando do something kind of like that with the Darksaber, where like he did behead someone in the episode, so he was pretty brutal with that. You know, compare it to a lightsaber, if you will. But yeah, like that's pretty violent though, John. Come on, just children watching.
Oh, sure.
And who's this? So OSHA gives him a shot with the Jedi Blaster, Jedi Council edition, and it didn't even like make him flinch. So this helmet, I believe, also has the power to deflect the stun gun. What do you think?
Maybe. I thought he just used the Force to stop it, but maybe, yeah.
Maybe, but we'll see later. Master Saul gets stunned by May.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
You can use the Force to stop it. He would have stopped. He could have stopped it, I guess.
But the dark side is stronger than the light side of the Force.
I thought they're supposed to be equal.
No, it's
Balance.
quicker, easier, more seductive.
Yeah, just hate leads to anger, John. So here is May still hiding in Kalnaka's apartment here. And I've learned yesterday, reading an article, that it's not a crashed spaceship. It is actually like the trunk of a tree.
Oh, really? Okay.
So the floor and the doors and everything are wood, are forest materials, with maybe some scraps from somewhere. But
that's
I believe
a big tree then.
An updated article on StarWars.com that mentioned it was a tree.
Like that whole thing is the trunk of one tree. Like that's a big ass tree. Yeah,
we're in Fantasyland. Remember?
Yeah.
Ewok Village was pretty big trees.
Yeah,
they lived around. They lived in it too, right?
Yeah, they did live around and in the trees. Well, I speaking of like the dark side and being stronger and stuff, I was thinking about that the other day, like because you know, even Yoda, because like when Luke said, "Is the dark side stronger?" and Yoda said it's quicker, easier, you know, so you can become stronger in the dark side of the Force faster than someone who's taking their time learning the light side of the Force. Do you see what I mean? But it made me think, like, does that mean that the midichlorians, like the Force feeds off anger and hate?
I would
think what I mean?
It's more like the training would be the key aspect, whether it's light or dark side. Just.
But if you like even Vader and the Emperor were kind of saying it during the fights. They were like, use your anger, use your hatred. Your hatred can make you powerful. Your anger can make you strong. You know what I mean? So it's almost like if you do give in to your anger and hatred, the Force will make you stronger. Like,
according to the Emperor.
So it's like, so it's almost like the Force feeds off anger and hate more so than whatever you're using while you're doing the light side of the Force. And that's why the light side takes longer to master, where the dark side is quicker, easier. You know,
and we see later how good of a actually skilled Jedi or a lightsaber fighter that the Jackie character is. Compared to
that girl was like, why was she so good compared to some of these masters?
Well, we see in a previous episode her training with a sticky stick.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
with those other Padawans or younger Jedis. So we see her actually doing some training. Like, so we're assuming she's had this training for, let's say, 10 years or so, right? Because let's say she's 20 years old and or 20 years old kind of thing. She's had lots of training. So I'm thinking maybe OSHA had a little bit of training, like very little, before she left or was kicked out, whatever happened there. And then it looks like May, on the Sith side, has had no training with any kind of stick. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah, I kept waiting. I kept waiting for May to like jump in with the lightsaber and block someone, ting and be like that,
that'll be next
but
week.
they didn't
Next
do it. She threw him the lightsaber instead or whatever.
But she has one right now. At the end of this episode, she ends up with Saul's lightsaber in her pocket.
Yeah, yeah.
But here's May picking up Kelnaka's big two-hander, which Jackie later gets. But yeah, it's a big, huge lightsaber. But it would have been cool if it was wood, like the Wookiee in the cartoon.
They had some wooden aspect to it. Yeah.
And I believe this is also a first time in live action is someone throwing their lightsaber like a boomerang.
Vader did it. Vader did it.
Vader did do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Against Luke.
Yeah.
And then, first time we've seen someone block it with a lightsaber, and it go back, and then it goes back and cuts down 3 or 4 trees. So yeah, good luck catching that, and good luck stopping that. Like that can't be an easy skill to be practicing. But yeah, there's the tree trunks that fell down, backwards against the slant there.
What do you mean? They fall the other way?
They fall the other way. Yeah.
Really? I didn't notice that.
But I'm thinking maybe it was the power of that red lightsaber forcing its way through it. So you would get some inertia from the push.
Yeah, they should be laying in the path between these two guys. Yeah.
But really, we should believe it because it is real. This is not CGI. They really did throw a lightsaber through some, living trees on some planet. Crazy planet, though. I wonder how they get there. But yeah, so we're still having action. Like no one's lightsaber is turned off at this point. Like we're not halfway through, but I mean, the pace is great. So I really enjoyed this kind of pace. We haven't seen it since early Mando season 1, and then I guess late Andor. Andor got some good pace going on in the second half of its season, but for one episode, like I'm going to be rating this one high. And I'm rating it. I think it's better than the whole series of Ahsoka, this episode alone.
So does he have like a slit to look out of? Like I was wondering what he was looking out of when he was.
Well, when you see now they have a Black Series helmet out, you can kind of see on the sides there's a little bit, that slit's a little bigger where your eye holes are.
Yeah.
So in this shot, you don't see it too much, but
those are
also assumed this helmet was black for until now, right? So,
I thought it was weird that it was teeth too.
It's well, what do you think it was?
Well, it was that. I thought it was an actual zipper.
Well, it probably is. But I'm a huge fan of this character now. Like from a character that was just standing on a rock for 6 months, all we see is this guy standing on a rock, from 100 feet away, and we're like, oh, who's this guy? Who's this or girl? Who's this character? Ooh, new bad guy. And then finally, this episode is all about that character. And we have some dialogue. So a lot of screenshots I did keep some of the dialogue because I thought it was pretty important to show that it wasn't like a shitly written episode in any way, shape, or form. I thought it was pretty clever. And do you think he's referring to anything other than, remembering him from back at the, the space pharmacy?
I don't know. I really don't. I wonder if he was another Jedi kid that got expelled.
So another thing to add to the mystery of the Acolyte, right?
Yeah.
Is there a relationship, a friendship, or any kind of acquaintance between Saul and this, let's say half his age, maybe 15 years younger?
Well, it makes me wonder if they, because did OSHA get expelled or did she just leave? But it
might have been
either way, it just makes me think maybe this Sith guy left the order or got expelled. You know what I mean? And he trained under Saul and those guys, which is why he's like, "Don't you remember me?"
Yeah, but I do. I think if there was that kind of relationship, and Saul would say, "Who are you?" Because literally, he said, "Who are you?" He would say, "Oh, I'm Daryl Dixon. You know, or I'm Billy Bob Thornton. Like, don't you remember me?" Because he does have a name. He's just not sharing it with Saul. So in the credits, and now in the toys, this character is called
The
the Stranger.
Stranger. Yeah.
That's what he's called. So is he going to be Lord Stranger, Darth the Stranger? Like what? He's gonna have a name. He is another character that's yet to be revealed, in my opinion. Like I
Yeah.
don't think this
Yeah.
is his final name. Much like we had 2 years of the Child,
Yeah.
right? Literally, like the most merchandise ever sold for like a toy character was called the Child on the packaging and all the merchandising, and
Yeah.
that's insane. So now we have two of the most insane character names in any pop culture history, I think.
But I don't think he'll be called the Stranger the whole show. I think
No,
like
he'll
that
be
Black
called
that,
like Darth Plagueis or something like that.
no, he won't be Plagueis, but I think he'll be someone. He'll have a
I-
name by the end. But I just think right now that Black Series helmet that says the Stranger, like I think that's just for promotional stuff, so they don't give the name away right now. They can show the helmets coming out, but when you actually get the box, it's going to say Darth Ren.
No,
Or
I don't.
whatever his
I
name is.
bet you it says the Stranger on it. But you're right. Like it's not coming out for like 11 months or whatever. So,
Because we're going to find out next episode what his name is. He's going to be like
but the
Darth Ren
Child,
or something.
that name was actually withheld until he met Luke, right? So the end of
Yeah, yeah.
not the first season.
Because that character couldn't talk.
So I have a theory.
Rick has got a crazy theory. Rick has got a crazy theory. Rick has got...
I think that Sith Zipperhead is indeed Darth Plagueis, and he has a Sith power. Not only can he heal people, he can change and alter his appearance to look like anyone he wants. So I think that's what this is going to end up being, is that character from Legends being brought into live action, and Plagueis is the eventual Sith master of Palpatine, correct?
Well,
So
yeah,
Palpatine
Plagueis
will
would be the
eventually
master.
kill Plagueis, and
Yeah,
Plagueis has a Sith master who's friggin' Dan. That's
yeah,
not his real name, but he's a Bith.
he was a Bith, yeah. But
So
I
that
don't.
character will also debut in episode 8, the last 84 seconds. Sith Zipperhead, who will show his true green alien or brown skin, whatever, because I know he's a weird looking alien kind of creature from the comics, will reveal themselves to his master, Sith Master friggin' Dan. There you go. There's my left coast theory for the day. Wasn't bad. Come on, it's not bad, is it?
Well, he was.
I think that Sith power exists in Legends, and Leslie's using it.
We'll see. I don't think he's Plagueis, but we'll see. I think Plagueis would be like 20 years old right now, so it could be Plagueis, but
it fits. It fits in my puzzle. So May's got Kalnaka's saber, comes out of this big treehouse, and Jackie comes flying in UFC WWF style with the 2-foot kick to the midsection, and that was badass. And I really like this character now. Like until before then, I'm like, oh, she's the actress that plays, that Wolverine girl, Wolverine's daughter, Logan's daughter. And what's she gonna do? In this episode, she definitely kicked ass. She would kick Ahsoka's ass. Ahsoka could not hold Jackie's jock, in my opinion. What did you think of this fight?
This person was pretty good, shockingly good with lightsabers.
Fantastic, and I'll bring it up now because was going to come up eventually. There was a behind the scenes video released a couple of weeks ago of all these Jedis practicing with sticky sticks, like before they're filming, because they practice that more than they practice acting. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't sit at home every day for 6 hours rehearsing lines. Like that's not. I don't think that's what all actors do, but they do every day go and practice how to sword fight and choreograph what they're going to do in this action movie, right? Fantasy action movie. And in the background, the video, you can see Manny, who is the Canadian actor playing Sith Zipperhead, or is it Darth Plagueis, in the background training with a sticky stick. And no one saw that. Or people did see it but didn't point it out. But that's fact, Jack. And if we were smart enough to see that a month ago or 2 weeks ago, whenever it came out, we probably could have figured it out.
Really? They show Khmer playing like with a stick in the back?
Yes.
So Khmer's in the Jedi Temple training with this girl.
No, they're in like a warehouse in California or wherever they do that stuff. Like a behind.
Oh, you mean it wasn't in the show? Okay, it's
no,
behind.
like there was practice.
I get what you're saying.
But it was shared by like at StarWars.com. Like,
I get what you're saying. Media. Yeah. Okay.
But you just a random kind of Asian guy in the background. So it's not like he's the main focus of the video. It's showing the Jackie girl, and it's showing Trinity and the other actors, Saul, and how they're learning to wield the lightsaber.
So the other thing I got, so all the action figures I bought are dead, aren't they?
Except Saul. Except Saul. Yes, that's
yeah. Okay.
Hey, Super John, welcome. I'm trying to pull up Chris' chat here. Plagueis died in 32 BPY. So would that be when Palpatine killed him? Because we're led to believe Palpatine, because he said that, right? Hey, Smirking Bear, is he?
Yep.
So, and then when the chat popped up and said, this episode sucked, like Paul's Collectibles, anyone, because if someone thinks this episode was like the worst thing in Star Wars history, please let us know, like, because that'd be interesting, because it was one of my favorite episodes of Disney Plus so far. Like, I will watch this episode again and again because of how badass all that lightsaber dueling was. Like, I'm sorry, man. If Ahsoka had a lightsaber duel in it for like all 25 minutes of the whole episode, I would probably really enjoy that as well. It wouldn't matter what series it was in. I just think, I learned Jackie's name because she kicked ass. So I had to learn her name, but rest in peace, Jackie. As we see, she's almost got May arrested here, and she's telling her, why she's going to, follow through with it. The murder of Master Kalnaka. She mentions the first two Jedis before that, and the fire that killed your family. So she's got her like on 4 counts, right? Although they didn't really see her kill Kanaka because she didn't. And they didn't really see her kill the floating guy because she just gave him poison and killed himself. And so now finally Master Saul, he's meeting up with Sith Zipperhead, tells him to take off his mask, you've never showed your face to your student. And he's being a little bit of a smart ass, and there's a little bit of comedy here. And one of his first lines here is, and let you read my thoughts. So not only can he headbutt lightsabers and discharge them, block lightsaber blows with this metal type material, it can also be like X-Men guy and block Professor X from reading his mind.
Yeah, it's Magneto's helmet. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. What do you think of that's now canon in Star Wars that we have?
Well, it makes me wonder if that's why so many Sith do wear helmets, because they use that technique against Jedi to like get into their head.
And so now, do you think
maybe they're all wearing helmets
like Darth Vader and Kylo Ren, their helmets were made of this material to block people like Obi-Wan from Force reading their minds?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
if
That's what I'm
anyone's
trying
ever
to
read
say. Maybe
Vader's,
that's why so many Sith wear helmets, you know?
I wonder if anyone's ever read Vader's mind. But wait a minute, we've had Vader and Luke just kind of communicate with the Force, like Leia and Luke have, and things like that, like Osha and May have. But if that helmet can block Saul from reading his mind, why couldn't it block him from sending out a message? Do you know what I mean?
Because that's Vader using the Force. Just like it's not blocking Zipperhead from reading the other people's minds, because they said he gets into your head, remember?
Yeah, so that's what I mean. So this metal works only
It's
one
only a
way.
one-way block unless you're using the Force.
That has to be it, because he also force, eye chats with May while May's running away. He says something to her, and we get like a big zoom in of his face, and he's like, "Are you scared?" or something like that, and
Yep.
she hears him, and she stops, and she trips over like a dead Jedi, like she literally, I think, tripped over her body. So yeah, he mentions hiding the face, and he's basically telling Saul's doing the same thing, right? He's hiding his true self from his apprentice.
Yeah.
But look how badass he looks, man. Like, it's every time I see him now, he's even more badass. And then Jackie comes like flying out of nowhere over top of Master Saul and gets in the battle. I thought this was a great shot.
Yeah, he does the Akira slide.
Yeah. And here's the Jedi lightsaber.
He gets in your head, he says, right? See?
Yeah, so it's interesting that he can do Force stuff through this helmet, but they can't do it back to him. Like, that's interesting. And it can break with like an elbow or a headbutt or whatever Jackie hit it with. It broke. Like,
yeah.
And Osha mentions, "Oh, my mother can do that, get into Jedi's mind." So
yeah, he picks the helmet up later, though.
Do you think that Sith Zipperhead has any relation whatsoever to those witches who use the thread?
I don't think so.
Then why do you think he knows so much about everything? Like about Saul,
because he was their student. He trained at the Jedi Temple, just like that's what I'm thinking.
Okay, so based on that, I understand what you're saying.
He either left or got expelled.
I don't think any Jedi but those 3 that are now dead, and Saul, that know what happened on that planet. I think when they got back with Osha and told, Master Greenlater and Master Yoda or whoever else is still there, "Oh, we didn't kill them all. The twin sister burnt the palace down and they all died." So they lied to the Jedi Council. Do you know what I mean? So that kid or the Jedi, they didn't lie to the Jedi Council and then tell the pupils, like maybe Kamir, if he was a pupil, because I don't think he would know.
Because Kamir, like Ghost says, Kamir hung out with May for years after he got expelled.
Yes, I think that could be the only way he would know any of the story. I think exactly.
Because he took May in as a apprentice at some point, or whatever you want to call Acolyte, and then taught her some things of the Force, but not
except the sword fighting part that we've seen. Maybe she is very skilled. Yeah, so I'm guessing it's been a good 10 years, right? That May has been training, or maybe less, but no longer. I don't think, unless since she was a baby. But when she was a baby,
well, you don't need that long. I mean, especially
she's a few years younger than by appearance alone of the person that Kamir looks like, a 20-something Southeast Asian looking man, and the age of Osha and May, who also look like they're maybe 3, 4, 5 years younger than him, just based on youth and good looks. They're all extremely attractive people, of course.
Wasn't Osha in Yord's class?
Yes,
because when they met first, Osha was like, "Oh, you made Jedi Knight. Look at that,"
Yeah, so I'm guessing he's got 5 years on her too. So let's put it this way. I think Yord and Zipperhead, the stranger are probably about the same age.
But I thought that
in real life
like,
too, like
it sounded like Yord was and Osha were in the same class when Osha left.
you think he's younger, but he's a master now.
I think he's a Jedi Knight with a
because
Padawan.
that girl with the pointy ears was his Padawan.
Yeah, he was. So that's what Anakin was. Anakin was a Jedi Knight with a Padawan.
Oh, okay. Well, he wasn't a master for other reasons, though.
But
either way,
I think Yord's a Jedi Knight. He's not really a master. Yeah,
because I think all the people that went to the planet, I think there was 9 of them, including Saul. There was 8 of them, including Saul. 9 with the beaver tracker, and take one away, May. So that leaves 6 Jedi, and I would guess those 6 Jedi were 3 masters and 3 Padawans, but I could be wrong. I don't think there's a bunch of masters and knights and Padawans. Is there 3 levels of Jedis?
Yeah. A Padawan has to pass the trials to become a Jedi Knight, and then a Jedi Knight has to be accepted by the Council to become a master.
Yeah, but the master is not everyone. It's a select few. Select few, but
not everybody makes it to be a master.
Yeah. So here again, we see how huge this 2-handed lightsaber is with Jackie. As she wins. She took down May, who's been training with the Sith for, say, several years. Jackie, who's been training with the Jedi for several years. And Jackie kicked her ass. So I'm really liking this character. And the stranger also has to come in to save the day. We see a little more lightsaber action. She actually hits him. She gets a headshot. Like, she tries to take his head off with the lightsaber, and it puts out her lightsaber. So it's like it's a new weapon we've never seen before, where they wear an armor that turns off your lightsaber.
Yeah.
Whether it's on your wrist or your helmet, or maybe even like your lightsaber blade, as maybe we'll find out. Maybe they can't even cut his lightsaber blade in half.
I like when they went to turn it back on, how it went Kylo Ren for a little while.
Yeah, like,
did you notice that? It was like
this right here. Make the
those 2 guys. There was one with the blue and one with the green, and they went to light theirs back. It was earlier in the fight because they're already dead by this point.
Yeah, rest in peace to those 2 guys.
They went to try and light them up, and they were it did like a Kylo Ren for a second, and then
he sounded like Kylo Ren.
Yeah,
for sure he did. He sounds very cool. And I was saying earlier, I think he's going to end up being a character either called Ren or another theory. The only theory I dropped really,
dead at the end of the show.
And he has a power to change his appearance to look like Vern, or to look like Super John, or to look like
he's wearing like a tinfoil helmet.
It's just latex. He'll just pull it off, and he'll be like Greedo underneath.
Metal, the same stuff you get in like shop class in high school. I don't know. I just caught it. You guys already go through the whole episode?
Almost.
No, I think we're
at the fight between this girl and the dude.
Okay, so this is when her lightsaber is just malfunctioning, right? And then she grabs Kilnaka's or whatever.
Well, no, I think this is Kilnaka's lightsaber, and she jumped in and she right to the head, went to the head of Khmer, and it made her lightsaber go out.
He has some sort of power over the kyber crystal, I think. So I think
it's a metal. We'll pull
you think
it
it's the metal deflecting, doing something to make the kyber crystal malfunction?
It's shorting. Yeah, it was in the books and comics. It shorts out.
Okay.
It shorts out the lightsaber when it gets hit. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought that he had some power over the kyber crystal, and that's why in the future you can get stabbed and not die. Because he weakens all of the kyber crystals for the future.
Gotcha. I see.
Hey, I never thought about that, but put those.
Because all those Jedi should be alive, because obviously you can get a through and through stab and survive. So everybody got a through and through, except for the ones that got the slash and the through and through, but he stabbed somebody through and through and then pulled the dude with the force and
That
gave
was
him a
cool.
through and through. He should at least survive because he only has like a slight through and through. She got 3 of them.
But
I was saying that he should have lifted the lightsaber up. Since there's no resistance, why pull it straight out the hole you just made? Just lift it up and
Oh,
slice everybody in,
that's brutal.
that's
slice
what I was
everybody
looking
in
for.
half.
He's not that evil. He did break the guy's neck.
Is the metal used that deflects lightsabers and shorts them out and whatnot.
All right.
If you're gonna kill
From the
somebody,
comments-
what difference does it make what way you kill them? Like, how does it matter? You're supposed to
Because
make.
one is really brutal.
If you're gonna kill someone, you got to make sure they're dead. That's my.
Look,
that's
If
my
this
rule.
if this girl was not a Jedi master at the time she died,
Right?
right? I mean, because
She
was
she
way
went from
more.
she
way
went
better.
from Padawan. She went
Yeah.
from Padawan to Knight to Master just during this fight. Yeah, she was so good.
All in one fight. Because I mean,
She was
She
better
just,
than
like-
any of the other Jedi.
yeah, I mean, she was
She's better than Ewan
She
McGregor
might
and Hayden
survive
Christensen, for
because
crying out loud.
because if they're doing the Star Wars Marvel crossover, she's probably healing her own wounds.
Yep,
Gotcha.
she's a Wolverine. X-23, is that her name?
Rick's
But yeah,
like,
she
why did I
kicked
even
ass.
click accept on this guy's coming into the
She kicked ass, sure. And then look at the little smirk on her face when Chewbacca's or Kelnaka's lightsaber lights up again. And she's like,
Mhm.
oh, snap. I got 2 greenies.
I'm not sure that in like a sword fight though, you can really pause that much.
No, yeah.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, check this out. That's like almost like I know something you don't know. I am not left-handed.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and she's holding the second one, kind of like Ahsoka's style, whatever that style is called. But notice her here, she's using one hand because she's got one hand on each saber, right? And he's using 2 hands throughout most of this fight. He's switching back and forth between 1 and 2. But against Jackie the whole time, he's 2-handing her. Like she's strong and she's fierce coming at him, right? And then she gets 2 lightsabers, and then he's a little worried here. He might have sweat a little. And you can see he's still 2-handing it. Well, now she's got 2 sabers. Oh, why did this go out of order?
Oh, that's when he sounded like Kylo Ren to me. When he was talking about the betrayal. Cowards.
That should be in order. So,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, there's a wipe here, and May's running away, and Kamir is chasing her, and he's using the Force to communicate with her. And as soon as he says coward, that's because she's running away, it just zooms in on her like a horror movie, like it zooms in on his face like this. And we get that cool detail of his zipper mouth, like of the teeth and all that.
Which
stuff.
looks nothing like the official Black Series helmet.
No, the eyes are a little bigger than the Black Series helmet, but maybe that's so you can actually ride your bicycle. Maybe there's rules how big eye holes have to be for children.
Hey, everybody in the chat. Look at Thousands Goes here, man. Like he's watching. He's got like 16,000 subs now.
No, it's 18,000.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry. It's hard to keep up.
That's like 20,000 Canadian.
I can't count that high. Gee whiz, every day. That's awesome.
Lots of battle scars. But yeah, this was freaky when they did that. I've never seen him do something like that. And he was about to kill her, without a doubt. He wasn't not going to kill her. He was trying to kill May. He gives 0 fucks anymore.
Ricardo, Brett, Mr. B.
And Jackie stops him.
So let me ask you a question. If he was really going to kill her, right? And that's his intent is like, I'm going to kill her. Oh, well, we didn't get to the end. Never mind. I'll ask at the end. If I'm
Yeah,
still
no,
around.
I think I have 3 different screenshots of him trying to kill May and getting stopped. Like everyone else, he kind of teased, like Yord and Saul. Like he had opportunities to kill them, and he didn't. He never hesitated with May. He kind of, except when he was just holding that lightsaber right pointed at her head. You know, pretty violent episode for Disney. You know, you liked it overall, right, Vern?
This is probably one of my favorite episodes of every Disney Plus show.
Yeah, I'm kind of agreeing with you.
The only like I could critique the lightsaber battle if you like, I don't want you to go back, but
Mhm.
when she wakes up, when Osha wakes up and she looks over and she sees them behind the trees,
Yeah.
there's like 2 Jedi swinging their sabers around and they're not even in the fight. So I'm in my mind, I'm like, are they fighting each other? Like, hey, let's
Shadow.
spar really quick before we jump into the fight because their lightsabers are
Yeah,
swinging around, but
they're
they're nowhere
practicing.
near the dude. So I know it was just for spectacle and stuff like that, but overall, I thought everything looked great. And when he was fighting the 2 of them, and like when she's fighting, that was probably the best part. She outshined everybody.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Master Brett? So yeah, as he's about to slay his acolyte, his apprentice, his pupil, as he used that word, she calls out to her sister in her little children's voice, because it says "Little May" in the subtitles. Osha.
I don't know if she's calling out, Rick. I think that is that
that's
dyad where she's just connected, but she's still connected to that younger version. So she's not calling out. She's just sensing the danger that her twin's in. That's what I think. I don't think it's a calling out.
Well, if Zipperhead can do it, then May can do it, right? Like he's training her.
No.
Why not?
Well,
it's a Jedi power to read minds, as Kamir says back in the pharmacy. Hey, don't do that Jedi mind trick on me.
Now, I'm not a professional baseball player because the pitcher that was trying to teach me to throw a curveball was unable to teach me how to throw a good curveball.
Well, it's because he was the batting coach.
John's like, I don't know where this conversation's going.
They somehow communicated because she convinces Yord to go back. He's like, okay, we'll go back. And here he is on purpose, headbutting Saul's lightsaber blade. Not the hilt, but literally the blade. Like, I'm going to stun your saber, which is just insane. It's a new power. What do you think of that new power, Vern?
What, the headbutting the lightsaber?
Headbutting the lightsaber blade.
I don't know. There were some issues with this episode.
And then, but yet she can elbow it, or I think she hits it with the hilt, and she knocks his helmet off here.
I'm really looking forward to the next episode when Saul is talking to Ki-Adi-Mundi and he's telling him he was a Sith, and Ki-Adi-Mundi's like, I can't hear you. I'm not listening to you.
Here's a new theory. Saul will die in the opening scene of next episode. I'm sorry, but I'm spoiling it all right now. May has Saul's lightsaber, as we're about to find out.
Oh, she's going to kill Saul.
Well,
yeah,
she's dressed up as Osha right behind him as they walk into the ship with the 2 of them and a beaver that has a flashlight that smells like Osha and not like May. So it'll all get figured out really quick, and she'll whip out his lightsaber, and he's defenseless. How, if that happens right there, how could he stop her? She has force powers and a lightsaber, and he's just a guy with a robe now with force powers. And we know May is a good force pusher. Like if someone tries to use power on her, her mom's trained her how to block it. But Osha, she sucks at blocking it, right? As we learn.
I don't know. John, what do you think?
Okay, I don't know. I thought
do you think May is strong with the Force? Like, are they portraying her like someone who has some Force powers?
We haven't really seen her do that much, though, but I don't know.
Well,
she has to know something, because, I mean...
She did a bunch of Force pushing as a kid, and as a kid, when her mom tried to Force push her, she blocked her mom, and Osha hid behind her. Remember that?
I think she's got to know some things, but she wasn't really trained with a weapon yet, because that was her whole task, was to try and kill somebody with a weapon, and then it would earn her the right to start training with a weapon, you know.
But you, me, and Vern have never been trained in the lightsaber arts. But if we had one,
you and John have never been trained in the lightsaber arts.
One, we could probably slay them pretty quick with our laser sword.
Have you seen?
I just think that's
movie
Saul's going to die.
With
There's no question about it. That's why we don't hear about the Sith.
That's where I got my lightsaber training.
But now we have the new from Hasbro Swiss Army lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's pretty cool. I want to show you guys this picture of the Star Wars reveals that came out recently for Acolyte and where we stand now.
You mean dead? Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Did all the action figures I buy die already? They love selling us stuff that either died or blew up. You know what I mean? Like
that's why they see if they were smart, they would have had them ready to ship the day you ordered them before the show came out. So you'd have them on your shelf thinking like, check out all these Jedi. And then you'd be heating up a metal chopstick right now, poking holes in them.
Yeah.
After this episode, okay, I think I've always wanted a Master Saul just because of who he is and how good an actor he's turned out to be. And, you know, whatever happens to his character happens. Now, Jackie, after this episode, I want a Jackie action figure.
She's $19.99 or whatever. I ordered it right after the episode.
And I want Sith Zipperhead.
Yeah. I haven't pre-ordered a lot, but as soon as this episode aired, I was like, oh, I'm going to go pre-order that. And to my surprise, it was $20. It was actually
on sale.
Down. Yeah, it's still $19.
Yeah, it's weird. I think it's the only one on sale on Amazon.
Yeah. But I mean, like,
it's going to turn out to be one of the cooler characters.
This is the one I had to get.
But I think you're right, Chris. I think May had no clue that Kamir was, you know, the master.
I have one of these metal like cutting rods that heats up. It's for cutting foam. I'm going to make it really hot. I'm going to give my figure 3 holes.
Yep.
Just because she's on sale?
No, just because I want it to be screen accurate.
Yes, the droid will also know the difference between Oshi and May. But also the beaver is smelling the flashlight right now. But also, where's the other half of that of Pip? Does Osha or May have the other half in the pocket?
She probably has it, or May probably has it now because she changed clothes with Osha. So or at least that's what we think.
I would think that Master Saul would have some kind of Jedi mind trick to know that it's not Osha, but maybe she gets away with it for a couple of minutes. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think May is fooling anyone for very long when it comes to fooling Master Saul, but you never know. Maybe she does. And with Sith Zipperhead and now Osha disguised as May, I don't think that's fooling anyone either. I think he knows already that that's Osha just by the tattoo on her arm and the no tattoo on her head.
Smirking Bear is saying, Rick, did you just call the alien tracker Beaver? Like Justin Bieber?
Well, Beaver has a V. He just got broken in half. He's like a Swiss Army droid as well. Hey, what's happening, Lack? So, yes, rest in peace to this very strong lightsaber fighting Jackie.
Well, now maybe we'll see the other person's Padawan come back. I wanted like
the one you wanted to see all along, right?
Yeah, the other girl. I wanted that one to come back. I don't understand why she was. This is my Padawan. That I'm never taking her anywhere on any mission, so she can't learn anything. You know.
He will be in the next Christmas special with Jack Black.
Captain Bombardier, the best Star Wars character on Disney Plus.
Now, did anyone see this coming? Like, okay, we're fighting. She's got 2 lightsabers down to 1. Oh, yeah, well, I'm going to go pull out this little one that's extendable. I can adjust the length with a little wheel on my saber or something. And then just choo. 3 quick jabs like that. I did not in a million years think that was happening.
Yeah, it was neat.
So I did watch this fight several times. Rest in peace, Jackie.
She survived. They're just stab wounds.
Just minor flesh wounds. But it was very cool.
Look, she's an alien, so like an alien creature. So
yeah,
her internal organs are probably different, like the grand.
Yeah, they're in her thigh.
Yeah, her heart and her lungs are down there underneath the belt.
Right. So
maybe we're in a little pouch.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
keeps
there's
her
probably
lungs in this
nothing
little pouch
important in
here.
those areas.
Yeah, all that up there was just like, it didn't even hit her esophagus because it's off to the right,
And I was gonna take a couple clips so we can watch this awesomeness, but I saw some other channels get taken down because they played little clips.
But did they play it with the music and everything?
Doesn't matter. You can't really play clips of something that's not on like public television or on Twitter, or like you can't copy a part of the stuff that's behind a paywall.
Well, I screen recorded a little bit of it and I just made a short.
No, I know, but that's kind of the rule when it comes to the YouTubes and being live. So what's really well done on this is how they're hiding his true identity while he's sticking her 3 times over this, 5 or 6
Well, we still don't know who he is.
Well, until she falls to her death.
Like, yeah, but we still really don't know.
He's Khmer.
He's Khmer, the stranger.
Yeah, but that's just the name that he told May when he was doing his secret identity. We really don't know who he is.
Yeah, he's Darth Ren.
What? Yeah, and so in a way, we're speculating: is he the master, or is he the apprentice, or Sith, or is he like trying to get an apprentice so then he can now move on to become the master?
Well, let me tell you this way.
And is Carrie Ann Moss's character going to have 3 marks when she picks up her 3rd Sith apprentice, and this is her 2nd one?
There you go. So if he is looking for a pupil, then that would make him a master, wouldn't it?
Or maybe he has to get a pupil before he can move on from his master.
Well, can you see what it says right under my name here?
No, I know because I'm not wearing my glasses.
But there aren't always 2. There aren't always 2. Because Dooku.
Always 2 there are. No more, no less. So
okay, you know what? That you can't. I don't believe any of those sayings anymore because
that
in
Star Wars,
Ki-Adi-Mundi says the Sith haven't been around for a millennia. But it could be that we don't know what a millennia means in Star Wars. It could be a measurement of distances for all we know.
Yeah, they haven't Sith been around in 4 meters.
Yeah, it could be like
in 6 yards.
Could be yeah, it could be. Oh yeah, it could. I mean, since a parsec seems like it's a speed.
Well, here's what I say to all the people that have YouTube channels, and that's like their biggest problem in life now is that. But Ki-Adi-Mundi said this quote 25 years ago in episode 1. Ki-Adi-Mundi has still yet to see a red lightsaber.
Yeah,
he's still yet to been told
going to run back.
A person with a red lightsaber.
Says, we found a Sith. Ki-Adi-Mundi's got to be doing this. I'm not listening to you. I can't hear you. I mean, that's the only way.
No, they're all going to die.
They're all dead. They're all dead except Saul right now.
He's the master.
They're all dead except Saul, and Saul will die, and he won't get that message back to the Jedi Council, and neither will Osha or May or the Beaver.
Figure out when did this rule of 2 start? Who started the rule of 2?
Darth Bane.
Okay, and when did he come around?
It was like 1,000 years ago.
He was like number 1. Was he Sith Prime?
Hey,
no, he wasn't. He wasn't the first. He was the last Sith.
Is it convenient?
He was the only. Bane was the only Sith to survive the Jedi Sith Wars, and he made the rule of 2. But yeah, there was never just 2 people. There's always a master and apprentice, and the apprentice always has an acolyte, which is who, like Dooku had Asajj Ventress.
Correct.
And when
he was under Palpatine.
Yeah, and there was Palpatine had Maul, Palpatine had Savage Opress, and then Savage became Maul's apprentice in a sense, and so I mean there's always been multiple guys running around calling themselves Sith and stuff.
But I think how the rule goes,
Smirky Bear said he's the apprentice trying to overthrow the master.
Yes, that it always has to happen that way. So as soon as he gains an acceptable pupil, or they're called the Acolyte, then he must kill his master.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he put all his eggs in this basket right here, and then she turned on him.
Yeah. Here's a second attempt where he's actually trying to kill her. He's not like he wants her dead. He's about to kill her. And Master Saul actually kind of gives up and believes and he throws his lightsaber down, right?
Right. Well, I don't know if he threw it down, he just turned it off. Right?
No, he did. He threw it down on the ground, and that's the last
but you know how easy it is for
he'll
him
ever touch a
like,
lightsaber.
Go and then it flies back into his hand.
I am a Jedi like my father before me.
As we'll see in an upcoming screenshot, someone else picks it up. And that someone else is right there in Sith Zipperhead's arms.
Yeah, that's no good.
But this is a new method of just holding a lightsaber right at the head, right? Like I think we've seen Anakin do this.
I think if he turned on that lightsaber blade, he might hit his shoulder. The way he's actually holding it.
Just a flesh wound. But the Jedi like you might call me Sith. So he is officially a Sith. He was
Is that the proper spelling of wield?
I didn't spell it. Mickey Mouse did.
All right.
I don't know.
He just wants the freedom to wield my power the way he likes. And that's the same thinking as all other Siths that we know of in story of any kind. And he wants a pupil. He wants an acolyte.
Ghosty in episode 4, she told Kamir that the only thing she wanted was her sister, and now that she knows her sister's alive, she basically turned on him and said, "I'm not doing whatever you want," and ran away from him. Tied him up.
Episode, she was like, "I'm out."
Yeah. She tied him up and ran away from him.
Yes. Yeah, the fights were great. Like, so you've already had a couple of things with the fights, right? Was it the hand-to-hand or was it the sword fighting?
What do you mean?
Well, you said you were picking apart a couple of fights.
Oh, like I was saying, like when they were showing that scene with the trees, the two people on the side were swinging their sabers around, but they were nowhere near the guy.
Oh, okay.
Right? So it was like, oh, okay. And then, and those same two people were the ones that were like looking at their sabers, like, and it was really weird, like
Luke Skywalker style.
Like they're looking down the blade. What if they had it turned towards themselves and they were looking and then all of a sudden fired back up? I mean,
maybe that happened to one other Jedi off screen because I don't think we officially saw 8 get sliced and diced, but we know they all did.
Yeah, kind of bad news. Who's the guy? The other guy you thought was going to be like the hero. He shows up in a minute with Osha. He doesn't fight very well either.
Yeah, she did say that, Lack, but she's acting. May's bad through and through. She's just bad. I don't think she's going to turn good. I think she's bad, but I think May can turn bad. Or sorry, Osha, I think can turn bad.
No,
I don't think if anyone's turning, I think it's Osha, and that will be roll credits.
And Osha's going to end up being the hero of the story. She's going to kill the master.
I have a feeling because this story, this Acolyte series, murder mystery, whatever you want to categorize it,
the mystery's over.
It's a happy ending series.
I think she kills this guy, but the master survives and just picks up a new apprentice. And I don't think it's going to be Osha. Unless she pretends to be May and agrees to be the guy's apprentice.
What's up, G?
Just so she can like trick him into thinking she's going to kill somebody else, but really cut Snoke in half. Oh, that was a different movie.
I think Kamir wins this whole series.
I don't.
I just think he wins.
I think they got too much invested in Saul to like let him go. I think I think if two people survive the series on the good guy side, it'll be May pretending to be Osha and Saul, and then Osha will end up being
goes on against where everyone's complaining about Ki-Adi-Mundi knowing about a Sith.
Yeah,
none of these people on this planet live and tell anyone back at Coruscant that they saw this guy. It never gets revealed ever.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? Check this out.
But I mean, what's so hard to think
run into Ki-Adi-Mundi. Saul's like, there's a Sith. You got to come with me. They turn around to get back on the ship. And the next thing you know, a lightsaber goes right through Saul's back, and it's Ki-Adi-Mundi killing him. Then he looks at me and he goes, "You will be my new apprentice."
Yep.
But I mean, I think that theory is pretty solid. Like, and the only thing that makes me think different of that theory of that Saul will die in the opening 5 minutes of episode 6 is in the trailers that have been out for months, there is a space battle with Master Saul flying a spaceship all dirty and like in distress.
Oh yeah.
So
And then
he's
Carson
space
Teva
battling
comes in
someone.
with his rogue squadron and saves everybody. And
No, but
still
I mean,
doesn't
that's
have
a
an action
scene.
figure.
Unless they just make that scene for a trailer only and don't put it in the series.
No, they said they weren't going to do that anymore. I think that's illegal, actually.
Yeah, it's against my rules. But I mean, so I think he for sure gets off the planet, but does he make that Apple iChat call or get back to Coruscant? I don't think he does.
The problem is we don't really know how long anybody on the show can actually live.
Well, until you get a lightsaber impaled or your
Because
head comes off.
even if they look human, they could like not really be, and they could just be like live to be 1,000 years old.
It could. I think just Wookiees and green women and Yodas live to be old.
I think
But until we're told
Right.
differently,
Something
right?
To make Osha sad and to test her. Oh, that's a good theory. A Star Wars
yes.
is always about redemption. So maybe May turns and Osha freaks out when she finds out the truth. Ooh.
That's exactly what's going to happen because Saul has said three times, Osha, I'll tell you what happened as soon as we get back to the ship. He
So I
said
think
that to her
you
last episode.
and
he
Chris
said it
were
to
like
her this
probably
episode.
talking about this online, so you guys have like unified your thoughts.
Who's
That's
us?
why every time he posts a comment, you 100% like agree.
Who? Who? G-Force?
No.
But yeah, so far we know that Osha can't force push. But I think eventually she'll learn how to force push. And it'll be a push off with Osha and May.
Well, we don't know like how far along she was in her Jedi training and what it will take for her to just like get back from that, because when Kenobi had like shut himself off from the Force in the Kenobi series, it took him a minute to get like his Force powers like kind of out of mothballs.
Yeah, like I think they said this all happened 14 or 16 years ago, 14
Yeah,
years ago.
so
something like that.
it could just be a matter of her spending 15 minutes like dusting off the old cerebellum.
Lightsaber handle.
Yeah. But like John had said previously, he said, even if I left the Jedi Order, I would never be picking up a spatula to flip pancakes and stuff again or something. I'd just be going, woo, 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 making breakfast, putting like the breakfast sandwich together, having it float next to me. That's what you're saying.
Why even pick it up? It would just float and I'd go,
Yeah, why would you stop using your powers?
This dialogue also lends to the fact that Master Saul will die. We'll all shed a tear when it happens because he's a great actor. And the Jedi say I can't exist. They see my face. They all die. And until this point, every Jedi that's seen his face, except Saul, is now dead by his hand.
That's
Tell
why
me
I
I'm
think,
wrong.
that's why
Tell me I'm
also
wrong.
May and Osha are dead. I think
Tell me
they're
that
going
this
to
quote is not 100% accurate and true to this point. Every Jedi that's seen him is dead.
I think every person that sees him is dead. So I think Osha and May will both
Even
die also.
5 Jedi that didn't see his face are dead.
But
hold on.
Remember the
this
shish
is a
kebab twins,
philosophical
we got
type of
them.
a statement you just made, right? So
No,
what
he
you
just
said
quote
was,
like this.
what you're saying is, all the people who see my face die, and then you tried to say that's not true because people who didn't see his face are also dead. That's like saying
No, it's more
all
than
brown
it's greater
cows,
than.
all brown cows can fly, and then trying to say all cows are brown. But that's not the same thing, because you can have a white cow and then he doesn't fly. So
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is his words here are accurate, and I think that's foreshadowing that Master Saul will be terminated.
I mean, I'm not trying to go off on a rant here, but you know.
No, you just want.
What I want to know is like, see, like, Kamir learned all this from somebody. He learned.
Yes.
He learned from somebody else that the Jedi can't know we exist. So everyone who sees your face must die, or else the Jedi will know we exist. So you have to kill everybody that sees you.
Exactly, and that's Lord.
And then also he says, like, you know, the Jedi say that we can't exist. You know what I mean? So someone who taught him the dark side told him about this Jedi rule that the Sith don't exist anymore. The Jedi think we've been extinct since the Jedi Sith wars, you know.
A millennia ago.
I think he should have said that differently, because what he really means is anybody seeing me with my face or my helmet wielding my power and using my lightsaber, one, knows I'm not a Jedi. And I shouldn't be around.
Say all that. You had to say all that. Hold on a second, everybody.
But he shortened it to if they see my face. But the problem isn't if they see your face. If I just see you, because when he was working in that shop selling the potions and customers went in, did he then every single person who walked into the shop?
Meeting there because he killed the shop owner and took his jacket.
But he didn't have to kill all the customers or anything. Like people that came in and saw him and bought stuff from him.
Nobody
did not see him and his cloak and his metal helmet and his lightsaber.
He wasn't running a spice business on the side.
That's what he really means. So he should have said, anyone who sees me, either my face or my metal mask, as long as I'm wielding my lightsaber, using my force powers, they must die. That should have been the line.
He did kill all the customers. He took their money, then killed them.
Okay. That's right. He gave them all poison.
Took all their spices. So here, Master Yord comes flying in.
I do it, rants only.
He picks up the helmet and he basically deflects his lightsaber with his wrist gauntlet, and it turns off Yord's lightsaber. Like, it makes this guy like not indestructible, but pretty damn hard to beat. When every time you strike with your lightsaber, he can potentially just turn your lightsaber off by using his head or his wrist gauntlet. Like, so that's just insane. That changes a lot of stuff.
So somebody grabbed his helmet and used it, right? Did they hit his lightsaber?
Well, no, he tried. This is his helmet right here.
But did he have his lightsaber out and then it struck the helmet? So did his lightsaber not work after that?
His lightsaber, and Kamir blocked it with his wrist gauntlet, the lightsaber, and now Yord's lightsaber is dead.
Okay.
And here's what I think this is a mess up when they filmed it, because he's holding his lightsaber, but this is where the blade is here.
Well, the short one could have the blade coming out the bottom, because it could be that if he turns them both on, it's like that Darth Maul deal.
No, because as we'll see as we saw, when he pulls it out, it untwists here, and the blade comes out
double barrel
in the same direction.
Maybe he
has a little bit of a handle.
Look, if you ever see like those collapsible batons or whatever, when people are up there like that, maybe he's going to do like a clavicle strike right there like that.
I thought that I thought he did short the stranger's lightsaber out.
I think it did. The helmet did, right?
He hit it with the helmet and shorted it out. And he was I think
you're right. Yeah.
I think that's why he ends up having to use this alternative move, right?
Well, you know what happens when you do that? When you hit Kamir's lightsaber with his helmet, is he pulls a Vern and he does a head swap.
He does a head swap, yeah.
There's no swapping there. You know, this is a pretty classic move. If you ever see my stop motion movies, those the action team guys, I did this in one of those films where the guy snaps the dude's neck at the end.
Okay,
that's pretty brutal for a stop motion,
right?
What?
Ghosty wants you guys to have a 3-hour long.
Yeah, I told him we're going to do a rant off. What we're do is just throw topic, and then we're both going to take turns. I don't know. We'll set the rules.
But yeah, it's pretty violent death, and for as far as Disney Star Wars goes, right?
I don't know. I don't even
That-
feel like
that's
it's
woke?
Disney
Is this
anymore because
woke?
every time I turn on Disney Plus, I see like everything. All the Hulu junk's in there now, and then I'm just like looking, oh, okay, well, that's a brutal show. That's a brutal show. Good thing no kids are wanting to like scroll through Disney Plus.
There's the kids setting.
Yeah, but your kids are older than that.
So if you set it on kids, do you see Acolyte?
No.
Okay,
probably not.
That's the problem.
Probably
I
gotta be 16.
I can't set it to kids if I can't watch like a show like this.
You're not a kid.
Then I gotta see all the other Hulu stuff.
Yeah, you can watch whatever you want.
You know, there should be a setting to say, don't present the Hulu stuff on my main screen. I
Why?
should be able to have like a main screen and just my stuff comes up.
Why? What does it make?
I don't know. I think this is May getting stun gunned. Who's got him? Okay, so Master Saul's got him. Like he could have killed him.
And he pulled a Mace Windu. There's a whole Mace Windu Palpatine scene here.
Very much so, yeah.
He's gonna do it. Could put it into it right now.
He should have killed him. I don't know what their problem
But
is.
no.
Well,
Gotta
now
show mercy.
Kamir is getting into Osha's head. He's like, you trust him even after everything he did to you? So Osha doesn't know what he did to him, right? So, but he does. And we know in the end that there's something that these Jedi have done. Oh, I think this is the shot of the butterflies.
Eating him.
Those
They
big
went to
bugs
eat him.
flying away
That
with.
was, that was kind of, I don't know. Did they not? This scene to me when they had all the butterflies take him away, I felt like at this point it was a great episode up until this point, and then I felt like I was watching Austin Powers and Dr. Evil say, Scott, I'm going to leave him in an easily escapable situation and hope everything goes to plan.
It was kind of like Peter Pan, like, you know what I mean? Like an actual traditional Walt Disney live action movie. Like it was kind of like that, or Jungle Planet or Jungle Cruise.
This was 100% Dr. Evil leaving them in an easily escapable situation.
Easily escapable. Yeah, well, especially when you're a Sith master or Sith something, you should be able to slay a bunch of flying bugs. But yeah, they tricked them. And so May is questioning Saul. Why did he say I shouldn't trust you, Saul? And he's like, I'll tell you. I'll explain. Back at the ship. And now May has found Osha. I think these are out of order.
And she stunned Saul at that point, right?
Oh, yeah, it was Saul that got stunned. So
Yeah.
he couldn't block that. May had stunned him. So now May is talking to Osha, saying we can be together again, all this and that, right?
Come with me if you want to live.
Kind of weird. So when this was happening, I thought, oh, shit, they're going to end the episode here.
No,
This
she's
is the place
saying,
where they end the episode.
come with me and we can rule the galaxy together as sister and sister.
As sister and sister, right?
And John's like just kicking back, like, okay, these guys are off the rails now. nothing they're saying has anything to do with Star Wars.
Well, I think that's true for you, Vern. So now, do you think May is being truthful, or is she still being deceitful and a bad girl? Why can't
What
I
do you
go to
mean?
that? Well, do you think she's just trying to trick her sister so she can?
No.
No, I think she really thinks that
If Osha hadn't said, "Well, now you got to be arrested because she would have been fine.
Yeah,
They would have went happily ever after on their way. But Osha's got to be a dork and be like, "Oh, you are under your crimes." It's not clear to her by now that she didn't do any crimes. It was you fucking idiot. It was the
hey, what?
It was the bad guy, the stranger dude, not her.
John, that whole scene to me was like, you ever watch these movies where like the bad guy's sitting there with a kind of wanna-be bad guy and he's threatening him and he's saying, you're going to do this and you're going to keep your mouth shut or else. And the guy goes, no, the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to the police and I'm reporting you. And then the guy's got the gun. So there's no way he's letting you leave after that point where you said you were going to go, Those things in the movie. I don't know. You're
I
right.
was like, Osha's just being an idiot here. Like he should have just went like, okay, yeah, let's go back and we'll be fine. We'll be sisters again.
So John is only in DVD format.
Yeah, I'm only in 480 today.
Okay.
I think I'm only in 482. Is that?
I don't have my camera. My camera's at the house.
Oh, how many of these pictures do you have? I thought the pictures were done. I mean, it was only like
No, I got
1-minute episode.
The last 3 or 4 weren't there. So a little beaver sniffer guy, he finds a little broken pip after the bugs dropped.
As soon as I saw this guy, I was waiting for the Grimm to come out of the woods and say, "We found some Vesson."
This kid's pretty cool, man. He's Star Warsy. And then fake Osha finds Jedi Master Saul when he wakes up from being stun gunned by her. So
that's why he didn't recognize that it wasn't her, because he's still stunned.
Oh, it was the haircut.
Yeah. He didn't notice that her ends were still on fire.
Yeah.
And she smelled like burnt hair.
Yeah.
And then she glued him.
Burnt hair doesn't go away that quickly.
And then she corn weaved him back onto Osha so she could trick her master.
Now it's the parent trap.
Her plan the whole time was to steal her sister and turn her to the dark side.
It's an emergency situation. The dead Jedi are lucky they weren't cut up for food. All right.
Well, where's the picture? So yeah, he goes back and picks up his helmet, and it still looks pretty black. But got a couple of pictures. And what is this quote from? And it's a real quote, I think, from an existing story. What extraordinary beings we are.
I think the Wizard of Oz.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think it was the Lollipop Dudes right before they started singing. What extraordinary beings we are. We are from the Lollipop Guild.
So not only we have, Force healing, we got Sith healing now.
So he healed her then, which means he could have healed all the other Jedi, then possessed them, and he could have a team of like Jedi behind him.
Like zombie Jedis?
Yeah.
He should.
Yep.
But
and then
I don't remember May
imagine the repaints on those action figures. They would all have black eyes and burn holes in them.
I just don't think who would have stabbed her.
And why didn't he look at her and say, "What happened to your hair, May? It was longer."
He knows right away. He knows because that was the plan. But yeah, he's getting all, quoting, directed by Alice Garcia Lopez. Thank you very much. But I think this episode was freaking stellar, badass fighting. It doesn't make me like or
John should have known that
anymore.
Quote. Don't you know every Yoda quote, John?
No.
Oh.
Do you think any of them are still alive?
All of them.
No, seriously.
They were all just stabbed with lightsabers. It's canon. That doesn't kill you. Name one person who was ever stabbed with a lightsaber who didn't survive.
You know what's extra cool about Sith Zipperhead, the Stranger, is that he's Canadian. He's the first Canadian Sith lightsaber wielding person in Star Wars.
I thought you were going to say he's the first Canadian in a Star Wars show, but
no,
we all know that is
lightsaber wielder and a first Sith.
So the Vader wasn't Canadian, Paul wasn't in Star Wars. So both Canadians in Star Wars do not have action figures, but they have helmets.
Oh, they're just holding it back because I shared that video last week of the cast all getting action figures to open, like all of them. And that actor, Kamir, he got a May action figure to open. And Osha opened up Osha because Osha plays 2 characters, right? But so does Kamir now. Kamir now plays 2 characters. He's not going to
get... Oh, you know what we're going to find out?
He is going to get multiple action figures.
I wonder if he later is the dude that turns into red dust in Ahsoka.
He will turn into somebody else, and it'll either be Darth Plagueis or the original Knight Ren.
Like if this was the time of comics, if this was the time of Force Awakens and they were doing toys, they would make a Kamir figure. They would make a walking from the ship to the Wookiee place Khmer
one robe.
figure. Yep. And then they would make a helmeted the Stranger Khmer figure,
Right.
and then they would make a Khmer figure without the helmet and the red lightsaber.
So the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive would be him in the shop with like the little poison shop.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, you'd get the
Like a
bar
place
for the
there?
shop,
You
and
get
then
the
they would
little
make
table,
another. And then they
little
would make
vial.
another. They would make another helmeted Khmer, the Stranger figure with two lightsabers, one little short one and one long one.
You know they're going to make a deluxe of that dude who was just hovering in the temple, and he's going to have a stand that holds him in that sitting pose.
A little bit up, yeah.
Will they come with swappable heads? One that's bald and one that's where he's like a teenager.
Yeah.
No, because they only want you to put him in that.
How is he
That's
bald
a
in his, like,
100% a
mid-20s?
second figure.
So now I'm wondering what 6 characters could be in the second retro box set, because I can think of Kelnaka,
They're all
Zipperhead, and the Green Jedi
Yadi
lady,
Mundi?
unless they already made her figure.
You
I can only
got
think of 3.
Mundi in there.
The Beaver guy.
Yeah, the beaver guy.
Beaver guy would be a cool retro figure.
I heard that dude's going to be an exclusive Mos Eisley Cantina figure.
And see, they announced Vintage Collection Hammerhead to go with my my theme for 2024, a year of Hammerhead. So congrats on Hasbro for announcing it yesterday in front of like 4 people in private. I don't understand how that's who and marketing. Like, let's do this. Let's tell these 4 people and rely on them to pass it on to 4 more people. And then
I'm having trouble believing it actually happened if that's the case.
They could have weird robot Lobot figure was one, and then Fat Jedi could be one.
The Comic-Con exclusives like surprised me today.
Damn, they dumped like 100 toys today, didn't they?
Oh yeah, look.
Is that a lightsaber?
I'm still going through the press release. I didn't even get to see it all yet.
It's a mall with a speeder bike.
Yeah, I want the speeder bike, but we're not going to.
You know what I like best about that? I like the box, because the box is exactly like the Hasbro 12-inch model with the speeder bike that they made.
Yeah, the Death's Head I think is the best thing. That's what I would
the
like.
box I think is really good looking.
Well, I'm gonna try to get into the Hasbro line. They'll probably limit me on a couple of the things, but I only
remember if you can get Death's Head, I bought you this exclusive thing.
Yeah, no, I got it. I got you, John.
And then their other deal
I'm definitely gonna pick you up a Lego, one of those freebie Lego things.
Exactly, that would be really helpful.
And then after the
if I were to pick one thing out of all that, it was Death's Head. Yeah, definitely. But guys, I got to get going. I thought we were only going to talk for about an hour, and we're already too late.
No. Okay, this is the way you got to think of it, John. Like Rick has a live stream. It's 5 minutes for every minute of actual showtime. So if the show only runs 21 minutes, you got to multiply that by 5 or 6. So it's like an hour and a half, 97 minutes.
I'll pretend Vern's doing chat. Here we go. Okay, yeah, we're right back. Did you see that one too? No, you don't need to read that one.
You know, you can get a lot of people.
Cheers, John. Thanks for hanging out, buddy.
Yeah. See you next time.
Have a good week.
See you Saturday on Vern's show.
All right, we're gonna have who? Oh,
yeah. Who's the toy maker you guys have coming up?
Hidden Ninja Fortress. No, I let me look at it again. It's they make those 3
Hidden Ninja and
3/4 inch hidden Force Ninja
Fortress Galaxy Powers.
Yeah, Hidden Force Ninja, the little 3 3/4 inch O-ring ninja figures.
Okay, yeah, I remember seeing that.
We talked about their Kickstarter once. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are you getting them? You like ninjas, right?
I'm not. I don't collect the 3 3/4 inch so much. I only bought those Super 7s from Ross. And
did you see Sideshow's doing some 6-inch action figures with it's either Boss Fight Studio or one of those companies, but Sideshow is the distributor for it. And I don't know if they're from a video game or some property I'm not familiar with, but they look pretty cool.
tomorrow I have some time. I'm off every other Friday, so tomorrow I'm off, and it'll be my chance to sort of catch up during the week and say like, why would he like
I think
Ninja?
50% of Vern's G.I. Joes are all ninjas.
You know
Like,
what?
converts them
You know what?
to
I
ninjas.
am so used to comments like that because on Saturday he said, "You don't read that."
You can't read that. Those
That's-
3 characters that are pointing to the left. Like those, I uploaded a bunch of Shogun reaction retros, and only thing I can read on the package is reaction.
Yeah.
But I like that. I think those packages are freaking brilliant. I love foreign.
Something came out this week that looked super cool, and I can't remember what it was off the top of my head that I was like, oh man, those are cool. I think I'm going to be all in for it and stuff like that. But I did buy that tank.
The brown one.
Yeah.
The con exclusive.
I mean, it's just amazing to me that Hiss tank was like $300, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're waiting the same amount of time for a HasLab.
Wasn't it $200 and then you get $30 off of that or something?
It's $180 shipped.
That's badass, dude. You can't beat that. Like, that's why I'm so excited for the bread car.
Yeah.
Like,
which means the shipping alone is probably like $30, which means you're only paying $150. Half the price of a Hiss tank.
Now, what other vehicles are you going to be interested in? Like, now that we kind of know,
I'll definitely get a van.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably consider that
Mad Max mobile.
The ramen. What do you call it? The ramen razor.
Razor, not a
Yeah, that little tag said ramen razor.
Yeah, that looks badass really cool. Too.
And only because I think it could really easily double from a Mad Max.
Oh, of course. It's what it's based off of, right?
Yeah. And even if not, you can totally use it for like some sort of a military style vehicle where you got your Joes like bashing through, or the A-Team, right? Like I could totally buy some like little toy welders and make it look like they're putting together like some vehicle that they're gonna take in the last 5 minutes. Because every A-Team episode, if you don't know the way the A-Team is,
I never
happens to some innocent person. Then that person ends up in downtown LA and they get thrown into a van where they offer to hire the A-Team, but they have no money. Then the A-Team goes out to the countryside where these people are being exploited. Then there's like the bad guy kind of like comes up and threatens them. And then the A-Team has to go take all the broken down vehicles and turn them into these super armored military vehicles. And then there's a huge battle in an open field. And then the A-Team wins.
Every episode.
Yep. I think I just covered 8 seasons of the A-Team.
And what was fun about that too is like, whatever it was, every Thursday or Tuesday or Monday, whatever night it was, the next week, it usually wasn't a continuation. Like, like, you know what I mean? Serialized. Like, sometimes there was 2-parters. Like, Dukes of Hazzard had several 2-parters where coming to the end of the show, they're going over the jump. Oh, to be continued next week. So next week you learn how they landed.
Oh, yeah.
Which is always normal. They never die or crash their car. They always pull it off. Right? Same with the A-Team. You ever see the A-Team, like, except in that movie. In the movie, they destroyed BA's van. But in every A-Team, the van never got destroyed. It never rolled over or got blown up. Like, even though they welded, like, new windshields on it and big forklifts on the front, it never got wrecked.
It is very interesting, the 80s, because you had the Dukes of Hazzard would do these massive jumps. The Fall Guy did those jumps. I think even that Simon and Simon, the dude had the power wagon that he would like jump. You know what I mean? It was like, what show didn't have a car that did jumps?
You know who would look good in that Razor? You take off all the, the steel windows and you have just regular looking car that's got primer and gray paint. Bruce Willis could drive that.
What was he in?
I don't know. He's in Pulp Fiction. He's in Die Hard.
Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure he drives a beater of a car and everything.
No,
even in moonlighting.
No, you know what would be cool is like if like a company like Ramen made like a 1987 Crown Victoria or something, and then I could just paint it like yellow and put like a little taxi light on the top. I'm your what? Black. I'm your what?
Oh, you're my favorite.
No, your shirt.
Oh, I'm your father.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
it's
what I
nice to
want. I
meet you.
wanted like a
This is my
1978,
Father's Day gift from my Cubs.
like a 1978 Crown Victoria
I thought you were asking what you were.
for my Beastie Boys action figures, so I can have my
Yeah, like I
Sabotage.
want that like mid 80s like Crown Victoria that can just be any Hill Street Blues police car,
Yeah, yeah.
any taxi, except for DC cab, right? Because you would want that old fashioned cab for the DC cab, and then you could throw Mr. T in there. And then but you got that Crown Victoria. It could be a brown sedan for the greatest American hero.
Yeah.
Robert Culp could be driving around. I mean, that is the most generic car ever that's been around in like everything, and would be like the perfect. Let's see, Magnum never jumped the Ferrari.
I've been trying to click on that for like 3 minutes, and it just
What have you
doesn't let
guys
me.
been talking about? I haven't been paying attention.
Yeah, wait, nothing.
A little bit of 80s cars,
We're
TV
almost
cars,
wrapping
how
this
they
up.
never get wrecked.
No, I just wanted to stop by and say hello, though.
Hello.
The man
What's
of
your-
town put this link in the chat, so I wasn't going to miss the opportunity to look.
What's your
Vern,
favorite
Say, hey, how you
pop
doing, Vern?
culture
Hey.
pop culture vehicle with 4 wheels, Lack?
Mine, God, mine's always will be the '68 Charger RT from Bullet.
From Bullet, and isn't that also in what's who
The
else had a similar car?
Gone in
The-
60 seconds.
yeah,
What about any of the Fast and Furious? Did Dom drive one of those?
I think Don had a '68, which is why he had one, because he wanted to be the bad guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Dukes of Hazzard, I think that was a '69
Charger.
Charger.
Challenger. Yeah,
That's one of the baddest cars ever made.
I
The
think
coolest-
what would be a really cool 112 scale vehicle is a 1968 or 67 like Volkswagen van.
oh yeah, hell yeah, man.
Yeah, you know, I would 100%. Those are cool. You can
I
stick all your
really,
shit on
I
there.
really
put
like
them
the
down to the
Playmobil
beach.
one.
What?
Like Playmobil makes fantastic Volkswagen buses and Beetles. Like they're 375-inch scale, really,
right.
but they're,
What was the
very
turtle
well
van?
made. They're top
Ford.
quality.
The Turtle van was like a
Which
Yeah,
is
that's
some
more like a-
generic something.
It was
or
a
other.
Cargo
Ford.
van or like
yeah, it
like
was a
just a
six
generic.
Ford.
That new one that they have is pretty good. I mean, if you grab it and like paint it, it pretty well fits with a 6-inch to just kind of be like some sort of a generic van for like
Does it?
back prop or quick shot or something like that. Rick,
like
your Touche shirt was getting a bunch of
Station.
attention at Joe Fest.
Gasoline alley shirt. So that means
I think
G-Force
Touche
was
is
getting all
spelled
the
wrong.
ladies. How many
Right, I think-
ladies did you meet because of it?
I think Touche is spelled wrong.
Yeah, I think it has an E and
Touche.
squiggly above one of the letters.
You might confuse that for like
Oh.
a Star Wars shirt. That one.
Yeah, you might.
Maybe.
Right.
Is that same as a Hemi-Cuda, a Barracuda?
I might say
Roadrunner?
Hachi. Yeah.
That ramen racer is supposed to be a '68 Charger too, is it not?
Yeah, I think so. I think exactly, yeah. Which is cool, man. Like I will see one of those in person one day. I'm sure someone locally has one, and I'll probably end up seeing it at the next big toy show around Christmas time. Because I think he's starting to ship those all out now, right? The racer, the ramen
I
racer.
think he's basically said all of them have been out. I asked him privately, like, oh man, I totally missed it. I didn't have money at the time. How can I get one? And he was telling me, he was like, I don't even have one. Like he was going to look around the factory and see if he can scrounge up like the parts to put something together, but not for me, for him. And then
Didn't he tease that he would do a second run at some
yeah,
point?
then he teased to me that he's considering doing another run of them, but they have to have interest in it to
Well,
be
they
able
got
to
two-
crank them
they
out.
Yeah, like at least a few hundred, interest.
But I know that like
Days work
when
or
we-
however
when we
long
were
it takes.
Yeah, when we were talking about them, they were like saying, it's like everything's like a year out, and everything that they're pushing, you're looking at it going, oh, look at this prototype's really cool, but we know we're not going to see it for like a year. At some point, they're going to get to the point where they're going to say, hey, let's just buy a second machine or whatever, right? so that we can be working on 2 deals at like one time or something like that. And then eventually maybe, if they really get going, they can expand the factory a little bit, because it would be nice if they could be doing figures on one side of the building and then the cars on the other side of the building. So you don't have to wait for the racer to be done for like the figures to start rolling.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe they already have the facilities going on for that.
Big part of the business too. Like, there's other, whatever factories that he uses, there's other toy companies, big and small, that use those exact same factories. And they ordered like the day before him, or the day after, or a week before, or whatever. Every day there's probably new things being set on a production schedule. So,
well, I'm sure rooting for that guy.
If you got the money, like I got my.
What's that car that that used to get rear-ended and explode? Was that the Pinto?
Ford Pinto?
Yeah.
What
they should make next.
We had a Gremlin. You guys remember what a Gremlin looked like?
No. Is that the one that's in
AMC? It's made by AMC.
Yeah. AMC. Yeah, I remember that.
It looked like a Pinto, like a hatchback, like.
Yeah, and it had the seat that faced rearward for all the kids to sit in.
Yeah, like a bench seat in the back, like something that's totally illegal and not safe now.
G-Force's dad had a Roadrunner.
Yeah, that's badass.
Yeah, that's cool.
He had a real ramen racer.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what Nova means in Spanish?
It means yes.
No.
Blue.
So the word go in Spanish is ir. And when you conjugate it, it's like yo voy is like I'm going. Va is like
gone.
To go, right? It's like the verb to go. And then no is no. So when you say nova and you're in Mexico, they think you're saying no go. So that car was a no-go, was not a good seller.
So not a popular car, and
not a popular car. Huh? I don't even know if he's joking or not.
No, I'm 100%.
Pinto.
All you got to do is go to Google Translate.
Google Translate. No, I use that all the time.
No go.
So if there's one action figure, we've seen more than 50% of this series now. We're
From
5
Acolyte.
episodes into 8. So
one
if
action
there's one figure you want from this series, they only make one that you've seen on screen. Who is it?
Oh, 100%. It's got to be. You really want me to say it, Rick?
Well, whatever the name is legally.
All right. I really want them to make Kilnaka, because there's no reason why they should not be making another Wookiee.
I agree. I think even though we haven't seen him in action really, except like
doesn't really matter.
break a gun.
Look, if they were going to make all of those other Jedi
I want Kilnaka as well.
All those other Jedi aren't even making it to episode 5. Aren't going to make it to episode 6. There's no reason why not make the super cool Wookiee, right? That looks like he's a hippie.
You know what's sad is we won't see the Wookiee fight the Sith guy, like because he already got killed by the Sith guy. Maybe we'll see that death in a flashback. Probably, maybe not. But I mean,
I don't know. It doesn't look like he put up much of a fight. The room wasn't even in disarray.
Yeah,
Well,
the
body was planted.
Oh, that could happen too. Yeah. But we know it wasn't May.
Just to get May to come in there and try to talk to him.
We're going to see him fight, but it looks like we're going to see him fight Saul and the floating Jedi.
I actually don't think that he could have killed Kilnaka,
yeah.
By the way. I don't think he was there to kill Kilnaka, because one, he was with May until she split up from him. And there wasn't enough time, in my opinion, for him to get there, kill Kilnaka, and then wait out the Jedi showing up who are like way ahead of May and them. Right. So to me, I think whoever is the master killed Kilnaka and was probably watching the entire thing, and will probably maybe see when him and Osha will have to meet up with whoever his master is.
I agree with you 100% in that, but I have to admit that I believe we are both logical people, and perhaps the people writing the show thinks that there was maybe plenty of time for him to go in there, but it would make more sense that he didn't have the time to get there.
Yeah, because I mean, like, it was impractical because of where he was, and then he met up with May and then went there, right? Even if whoever killed Kilnaka, like the master, killed him like a week ago, there's no way that guy was there a week ago.
Right. Well,
In
the
my
hair
mind.
was still sizzling.
Right.
Across. So
Yes, it was still
so
smoking.
Oh, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
was
notice
still
that.
sizzling. Yeah. Well, the other time issue is after the floating Jedi drank the poison, all the Jedi went to Coruscant and had a conversation, while Kamir and May immediately went to Kelnaka's planet.
Rick,
right? And then they all showed up at the same time.
I have to cook dinner pretty soon, but I just want to say, Rick, you're really brave for pulling up your Google to show images.
Yeah.
He signed into
sharing the screen because
two different Google accounts,
because we don't know what would have been in your image.
Well, I know.
It's two different Google accounts.
Just don't type anything in the box right now if you have your autocorrect on.
So John Jones, I think is his name, is the American actor who played Martian Manhunter in the Arrowverse. So this actor is highly rumored, if not confirmed, to be in The Acolyte as a character. So I think that this actor, when he wears makeup, like he's known for prosthetics and stuff like that.
So he's a guy
I think he's going to be Sith Zipperhead's master, who is Darth friggin' Dan.
Okay.
Whatever his name is.
Well, who should be Plagueis, right, at this point?
Well, no, Darth friggin' Dan. I know that's not his real name, but the Bith, who is a Sith.
Plagueis
Darth Plagueis' master. My theory is that Kamir is Darth Plagueis, and not only does he have the power to heal, because we saw him heal Osha. She had a knife wound. He healed her. But from Legends, Sith also have the power to raise the dead or heal people. So I think he's actually maybe going to use that power to change how he looks like. What are you showing me now, Vern? Spanx Dictionary?
Nova in Spanish. No, he doesn't go.
So what you're saying is we could probably go down to Mexico and get some cheap Novas.
Cheap Chevy Novas?
Yeah.
I had a Chevy Nova for many years.
Did it go?
My first one had
it was a V8. It was a big block V8. It went, man.
Yeah,
until it ran out of gas.
Gas was cheap in 1986, I think it was.
One of my
friends. And then I had a Malibu Cutlass Sierra.
Nice.
Used auto shop and to rebuild his Trans Am.
I never took auto shop, man. I wish I did.
I learned a broken down Trans Am, towed it to the school. They rolled it into the auto shop and got all the guys in the auto shop class to work on it with them every single day until the end of the year when he rolled it out, started it up, and drove it home.
Well, Ghost, from last episode 4, when Kamir and May landed on that planet, he had like a big hockey bag, like a big obvious duffel bag of stuff that he was carrying with him that were like, what's so obvious that your helmet and your double layer robes and maybe your sleeves are in there. I think that's
he
what
wasn't wearing a lot of armor. So if you're saying that all that was in a big gigantic duffel bag, maybe they overdid the size of the bag.
Well, he did throw off one robe over top of Jedi Saul. And he still had clothes on.
I challenge you to get a robe and fold it up and see how much space it takes in a duffel bag, and then put a helmet in there, a regular size helmet, and then sling it over your shoulder and see if it's like super full.
And he's gonna need like snacks and shit, right? Like some space potato
chips. My
gosh! The lightsaber is probably
ice cream.
You know what? Maybe Kilnaka was in the duffel bag.
Kilnaka's head.
Maybe, yeah. The lightsaber
he had already battled them, and he was going to drop them off at the house
with his fur still singed.
Was stranded? Well, as we know, there was like some kind of spaceport there where the Jedi landed. There was like lights and like, you know, a little fast food restaurant or something.
He was stranded.
Did they seem like they walked to the ship kind of nonchalantly at the end of the show, like considering the guy just said, "You all will die since you've seen me," and then they're all just like strolling, and it's like all peaceful.
Who's they
music,
all?
Like,
You mean
oh, this is so
Saul?
peaceful now because oh, he forgot that he was supposed to like kill them since they saw him.
Well, fake OSHA told Saul, "Oh, she's gone." So she told Saul that basically.
I'm not
Sith
talking about
Zipperhead
her. I'm talking about the
and
guy.
May left.
I mean, honestly, they really thought those like little butterfly creatures were going to kill that dude.
I wouldn't.
No, but they saw him again.
He just took out a slew of Jedi,
All of them but
and
one.
he can't. And Saul basically just cut one of them in half, so he knows how easy it was for him to fight one off. And then in his mind, he's all peaceful because these butterfly guys took this dude who just took out all the Jedi and him basically, like, you know, like away, like it wasn't like even in his head, like, oh, he's probably defeating these butterfly. I better watch my back. No, he's just wandering to the ship, like all nonchalant, like da da da. We're safe now. Look at these robots are here to protect us.
I'm guessing the
mowing the
Jedi
lawn or
stun
whatever they're
guns are
doing.
pretty powerful. We've seen it used a lot now. Like both May and Osha are stunning people left and right. But it doesn't work on.
But it
that
doesn't work
helmet.
on the Zipperhead guy. Yeah, exactly.
It didn't work on. I think it hit his shoulder and he was able to like dust it off.
Well, either way, it's like blocking a force push in a way. Like,
Is it?
Well, does the helmet and the gauntlet not react in some sort of electromagnetic way? That's why the sabers are being shorted out.
yeah, that metal that's used. Let me.
John explained it to me in like 2 seconds. Rick's going to take like 45 minutes.
Well, no, StarWars.com. Like, what's weird is they're spoiling this stuff. They're posting stuff like
And
the next
chat
morning.
too, it's some sort of like historical fact that there's some sort of a metal that like takes the energy right out of the kyber crystal or whatever.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So the actor who plays Yord, you know, the guy with the little dreadlocks, he had a video on you. Like, I woke up this morning and was watching Twitter. He had a video up there like saying, "Oh, hi everyone, about me, my character, this and that," and at the end he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I died." And I'm like, it's 10 in the morning. Like, Vern hasn't even watched this yet.
I haven't watched what?
I was kidding. But
What did
yeah,
I
this is
watch?
posted by StarWars.com, the official name, The Stranger.
Wait a minute. There's a website for Star Wars stuff?
Well, this is Twitter.
You kept saying
specialized
StarWars.com. Is there a
Portal says
website?
Gauntlet.
StarWars.com. Is there actually a website?
Are you done?
I gotta check it out.
With a specialized Cortos's gauntlet and a mask permanently twisted into frightful grin, the stranger with a red-bladed lightsaber appears as if out of thin air. While some may call him a Sith, little is known of this dark sider who has been training May Anicia in secret, hiding his face from his people. When needed, he has adopted the Elias Khmer, acting as a shiftless drifter and supplier with seemingly no cares at all than his own amusements. So that was StarWars.com talking about, you know, his little character profile, right? And we see he's got the gauntlet and some tattoos, but I think his character is based on this Legends character called Ren, just one word, as he has that kind of tattoo, one gauntlet, you know, kind of long hair, a
Does
mask.
it look like he was burned in like lava?
It does look more like a burn than a tattoo. That's what I was saying with John earlier. Like, maybe it's a burn from the fire on Moa and Osha's planet.
Maybe. He started the fire. You know what? This StarWars.com has videos, has stuff for the films, the series. It has games. It has a data bank.
I think they have coloring pages too, Vern, for your grandchildren.
This is cool. How come you never told me about this before?
What's cool about this new gauntlet and this, because like we saw Saul had a gauntlet.
There's a music video for Acolyte.
And Saul deflected a lightsaber blow. Like, they were doing combat, he deflected a blow, but it didn't turn off his opponent's lightsaber. Like, it's probably a metal the Jedi should invest in and go mine it somewhere. If they can wear a gauntlet that turns off Darth Vader's freaking lightsaber.
All right.
You know what I mean? Like, so he must die too. Like, and all the power that he uses in his armor gets hidden.
So does this mean that this is over now?
What do you mean by over?
So the Yord Horde.
Is that his fan group?
Yeah,
Yord
I mean,
Horde?
does he have to cancel that now that he's,
Well, no, he'll still have a long autograph line at Star Wars Celebration in Japan.
All right.
Don't you think?
This-
He did laugh a few times. He made a couple of little one-liners like, no, 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 to Master Saul, and you don't recognize me? And then he changed his voice to being and slouched to May, like, oh, hey.
Oh, yeah.
Thought that was pretty cool. But overall, man, I'm going to give this episode an 8.6 out of 10. It was a banger. It was better than all of Ahsoka. I actually think it was better than all of Kenobi and half of Book of Boba Fett.
So I think that's pretty high, Rick. I'm gonna do my ratings using the pizza review guys scale. The one bite. Everybody knows the rules. It's solid 8.1. Definitely 8.1. I feel good about that score. Yeah, I feel good about that one.
Did you watch it more than once?
What?
Did you watch it more than once? Episode 5?
Yes.
Yeah, I watched it back to back.
You know which one I have not watched again?
Episode 3.
Yeah.
I've only watched them all twice because, to get some screen grabs and make some notes that I never look at. But this one, when it was over at 6:42, and Lack and Brett were streaming, I went on the stream, but I went right back and started playing it and turned the volume down on Lack and Brett's stream so I could watch them fight again, because I was just adrenaline, man. I was like a 2-smoker. Like I had 2 smokes that whole episode. Like it was fucking good, man. I like 20 minutes of action. You don't see that lots.
I'm making 2 short videos out of today's show. One is on my YouTube.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to play you the other one. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
All right. I haven't posted it yet. But let's see if you can hear it.
What, you're editing film while you're on the live stream?
This guy is a Sith. Why does Keanu Mundi say this in 100 years? Sith have been extinct for a millennium. Well, apparently when Saul goes back and tries to report it to the council and Keanu Mundi himself, la 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 la, I am not listening, la 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 la.
That's it. You're going viral.
That's from The Simpsons. When he was trying to join the military.
6 out of 10. Okay. Better than 5. Anyone kind of grading it like a 4 or something? Like the episode alone, I don't know. They were smoking the wrong end of their blunt.
Let's go 6 out of 10. He's tough, man.
He's tough. He's a tough judge. He was at the dentist today, so I think
Remind
he's
me never
drugged.
to be in the Olympics if he's a judge.
Tough
I
crowd.
think he's under the influence of dental pharmaceuticals.
I do think it was, if I'm just comparing it to the other episode, actually, because it was so fun to watch, right? Like there was stuff in like Kenobi I really liked. Like there were some of the fight scenes I really liked. This one I think was just exciting because there were so many things, This was like that. As much as I don't like The Last Jedi, and some of the choreography was off when Rey and Ren were fighting all the Praetorians or whatever, it was still a very cool scene to watch.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but those editing, like when they're fighting, they go to another scene where it's Finn working on something.
Yeah,
else.
and then like when the Praetorians are coming,
and
then he spins around and he has a completely different weapon. They
go to different locations and different storylines. What I liked about this episode, which is what I like about a lot of Better Call Saul and
were you waiting for the break and then all of a sudden you were on Coruscant going?
They stay in the same storyline the whole episode. Like they don't go from one planet to another planet to like a whole another storyline that's not relevant. They just go from like here to like 20 feet away to over here where these two people are fighting, and it was just a continuous fight, a battle with multiple lightsabers for the whole episode. Like there was
Chris is right, because
minutes of dialogue and not fighting with a lightsaber.
This should have just been part of, he's saying it, Thousands Ghosts, he's saying this is just 20 minutes that should have been the end of the last episode. If that's the case, If that's the case, I will tell you the last episode. If this was the end of the last episode, I would have given it a 7.5.
Can you imagine if they did air it like that? Like,
it would have been we wouldn't even had the conversation we were having about like the way they're breaking stuff up on streaming. We would have just said that's a contained chapter. It's done. And what an awesome episode. And do we really need 8 episodes if we can get an episode? Like if they just put those together, would we care that we didn't get 8 episodes?
well, this was an epic episode that was probably worthy of being like a season finale. Like I thought it was that epic of an episode.
If they were showing, here's the way I feel about it. If they're showing, if this was airing on TV and they were getting paid for commercials,
yeah,
right, then 100% this one episode, because of how much money they spent on it, would definitely have to air on its own, because they got to make the max they can on the money they spent on that fight, right? So of course, in my mind, they would break it up and they would make it a continuation. But since it's on streaming to a bunch of people who have already forked out the money, there was no reason to break it up.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think what's going to go down is because I think this episode is going to get a bunch of rewatches from the fans, and I bet you even the haters. Like, I bet you even like the Echo Base guys, I bet you he's even watched the episode twice. You know, because it was decent enough entertainment to entertain you for half an hour. So I bet you this episode becomes their second most viewed episode after Luke Skywalker on The Mandalorian.
Maybe. Look at what he's saying. Chris is saying. He's saying if they combined them, he would have given it an 8 instead of a 6. His score went up and my score went down.
Yeah, but if you scored just last episode,
no, if we put them together, yeah,
it's good. I think the next time I rewatch it, I'll watch them back to back again because they did really well together, and it made like a good 1 hour of entertainment, which it wasn't. It was probably 42 minutes. Now that's the thing. Now we probably only got 45 minutes left of this whole series.
I know. I want to ask like question. Are you in Alaska?
I am currently at my house in Florida.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask you if the sun goes down where you're at, or if it even comes up. I don't know what time of year it is.
Right now back home in Alaska, the sun will be up most of the day.
It's like 2 hours or 3 hours, right?
It doesn't even go below the horizon. You'll get like that red. You know, the sun turns red.
Yes, so it's just sunny at 2 o'clock in the morning.
And then right back up.
Pretend like the sun's going down. I can finally go to sleep. And then 30 minutes later, it's like, hey, I got to get up and get up with my coffee.
Yep. You just work and party till you drop.
So do you just go back in the winter then when like the sun just doesn't come up at all? Because that's vampire hunting time, right?
Yeah, yeah. The ice road building job that I do, that time of the year when it's 60 below and it's dark, that's when everybody cuts out.
Okay.
And so that's the easy time to pick up work because everybody else doesn't want to be there.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You know what I mean? And then I go back whenever I'm waiting to hear back for a gravel road job, which the snow is melted and it's warm, but now the mosquitoes are coming out, right? So all the people, everybody's going to want to leave here in another month because it's going to be shitty again, you know?
So is it true though that place where it's like dark for like 30 days, that's where all the vampires are? Is it true?
There's vampires all up there. And not only vampires, but there are people who think they're vampires.
Okay, because I was pretty sure that all the vampires that were in Santa Clara left, and that's where they went.
It's probably where they are.
Yeah.
It's probably where they are.
Because in the 80s, I don't know if you know this, in the 80s, they used to hang out by the boardwalk in Santa Clara, right near Santa Cruz.
Did they?
Yeah.
I believe that.
Vampires?
In the early 70s, I was told that they hung out down on the end of the wharf road here.
In the 90s, on the way, they hung out in a place close to Santa Clara. It was called Sunnyvale.
Oh, to try to throw off the track.
Yeah. That's where the trailer park boys are.
Yeah, I could see that.
Did you know that, Vern?
The only thing, and because you brought it up, I will have to tell you. So the only thing is like when people say it's dark up there all the time, because of the moon and the stars and all the snow, it's never pitch black. Like I'm sure in like where you live, Vern, or definitely down here in the south of America, like when it gets dark, it's dark. It's
When you're away from the city
No.
lights and the
No,
light pollution.
no, Lack. Where I live, it's never dark because of that darn street light that won't ever shut off at night.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, you know what I mean, like in the country.
Yeah, where my house used to, where we have some property
in the Oakhurst.
And when you go, when you're on that property, there's no street lights.
Yeah.
The only light is my day and night that I have, and I hooked it up to a switch so I could shut it off. You could sit there and in all the meteor showers just lay out in the yard, just watch the meteors flailing through.
Yeah, that's the thing to do. Yeah, in Alaska, when they say dark all the time, there is no sun, but you get quite a bit of ambient light from the moon. You know, when you go to the top of the world, man, the moon is 3 times the size as when you're down here. You know, the moon down here is, you look at it and up. So it's always blue. You know how everything is, you know, when the sun, right before the sun comes up, everything is blue colored.
Yep.
That's what it's like in Alaska when it's dark, because you got all the white snow and everything's reflecting. And
all right, I was just curious.
Where does all the snow go when it melts off the flat Earth?
Where does it go? Well, it depends on where
fall
you
off the edge.
Yeah, it must, huh? No, it gets sucked into the ground.
You know, I tried to click on some of the chat, and I realized, like, I'm not authorized.
Not authorized.
So that was episode 5 of the Acolyte After Show.
Yeah.
Thank you to Super John, who took off early because he's almost as old as Vern and he had to sleep. Thanks to Vern for stopping by us, for breaking his after show
midweek. I don't usually do anything during the week.
And Lax Sivrak also popping in for a couple of words.
It's an honor to be allowed on the stream with Vern and yourself. I just wanted
to get always open. There's no locks.
I appreciate
we don't lock our doors in Canada. Well, yeah, we do.
I do. We lock our doors down here, let me tell you.
We lock our doors here too, and sleep on.
Got to keep those crazy
well,
women.
Florida, you have to lock your doors. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
Dinosaur will walk in.
Yeah, Alaska can be the Wild West, but down here is the bad Wild West.
So look forward to next week. Hopefully, it's you know what? It better be half as good.
You know why I went off on a tangent, by the way, Lack, so much?
I think it'll be good. I bet you we get
Rick likes to upload this as a podcast, so I'm pretty sure he's going to have to edit out all that extraneous stuff.
Edited nothing. You can put the button that says yes or swear words, and more people watch it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, people want that, man.
Next week, I'll bring my swear word dictionary, and I'll look some up just for you.
I'll learn you to speak Canadian.
I'll learn some.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So
here's what I know. Gosh darn it.
Gosh darn it.
I think we get a trailer this week that has like 1 second of new footage for us to theorize about. I bet you Star Wars announces another Cantina creature 3 days before their campaign ends. Because I think Hammerhead gained them 16 backers. It's not enough, man. I thought the Lord power of Hammerhead would drive people to buy, like, I need 12.
Not until the last minute.
But here's a sneak peek from next week's episode of The Acolyte.
What the fuck is that? Something's fucking with my pockets. Fuck, you can smell them. It's a Sam Squam. She's a gassy son of a whore, dude. Should just get out of here. Fuck. Holy shit. Sam Squam's fur. Cocksucker was probably sucking right on the tab. Alright, fuck. Look at that. He's a fucking 8 to 10 footer. He's an 8 to 10 footer. We gotta.
Left coast is the best coast.